Hey, good Monday afternoon, everybody. I hope this day finds you well. And so just to get one thing out of the way, I've had several people ask me, what's that on your face? Well, I got in a fight with an oak tree. He won, but I'll be ready for him next time, okay? But really what I wanted to talk to you about today is a little recap on what we talked about yesterday at church. Many times I like to do a recap because I feel like maybe someone missed something, or I feel like I needed to make it a little bit more palatable for you to be able to digest. And so just want to talk to you real quick. Yesterday I talked to the congregation on the subject of betrayal and how Peter handled betrayal versus how Jesus handled betrayal. And we know that Peter took the ear off, Jesus put it back on. So Jesus returned evil with good. But right after that, in Mark chapter 14, verse 47, it talks about where, Peter takes off the ear, but then there's a young man that shows up on the scene, and he's naked, and he's got a linen cloth attached to him. And so, for whatever reasons, they started trying to chase this young man, and when they did, the only thing that they could get a hold of was the linen cloth. And so I asked myself, why was this insert in there, and why did Mark feel like it was so important to put in there? And the only thing that I could come up with, and you may have a different interpretation, but my thing is, I think about what Jesus said to the men when the soldiers came to arrest him, they asked who he was, and he said, "I am he." And when he said, "I am he," it scared you, didn't I? He said, "I am he." There was profound power in the words that the Word was speaking. Because the Word, if you read in John, it says that Jesus was the Word. The same was in the beginning with the Word. And so the Word was speaking the Word. And sometimes I think we overlook how much power is in the Word of God. And that's why so many people live in defeat. They skim over the Word, but they never digest it. And David said, "Thy word have I hid in my heart that I might not sin against thee," which gives me power when I memorize the Word and I use the Word against my enemy in different situations where I feel like I can't. Because he puts a "I can" everywhere I put I can't, okay? And so he says, "I am he." It blows them off of their feet, right? So what I feel like happens in that moment, I feel like that when Jesus did that, the power that came from the word that came from the Word was so powerful. I feel like his words breathed across the graves, and I feel like the resurrecting power from him began to rock the graves. That's right. That's what I believe. I believe it rocked the grave of that young man. That young man came out of that grave. And why do you say that, Brother Danny? Well, Jewish tradition says that when they would bury someone, they would bury them, sometimes they would bury them naked with just a linen cloth. And the only other time we really see this is when Jesus was buried, and at his burial there was a linen cloth that was found, right? And so I feel like that's the only explanation, is that resurrection power hit that grave. And so that young man come out of that grave, he's walking through town, he's pursuing Jesus. And when he's pursuing Jesus, the other men didn't like it, so they tried to apprehend him. But the only thing that they were left with was the linen cloth. The thing that was attached to him in the grave. The only thing left that represented the grave was attached to him. And when they went to try to grab him, they pulled it off. So what are you saying, Brother Danny? I feel like when that young man came out of the grave, he needed to lose everything that was attached to him that represented where he used to be. And so sometimes it takes people trying to persecute us, people coming against us, for us to lose the things that were attached to us. Now, they might have felt like they meant harm to this young man, but really they were just helping him shake some things that were attached to him from the grave. And I believe that Jesus was showing us that how we are supposed to do people who betray us, and he was returning evil with good when he put the centurion's ear back on him. And plus, I think he wanted him to hear what he had to say. Woo! Anyways, I feel like that's good stuff this morning. And I just want to relay that to you and let you hear what I feel like the Spirit was saying to me, is that God is trying to pull some of you out of the grave, and he's trying to use his word to do it. But you're going to have to lose the grave clothes, baby. You're going to have to get rid of them, and you're going to have to walk in the newness of life. That's good stuff. So with that being said, I hope you have a blessed day. I hope the rain doesn't get you down, and you realize that the rain produces plants, okay? It nourishes, it gets the soil ready. And so somebody, get your soil ready. You got to have a little rain so that you can produce fruit. So with that being said, I hope you have a blessed day. God bless you. Now go produce some fruit.